Good morning once again. I would like to officially welcome you to the People's President Season 2 Grand Finale, brought to you by CTPD in partnership with Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. As we get started, I would like to just recognize the presence of our judges and everybody else that's been involved in us getting here to the Grand Finale. If you're just joining us for the Grand Finale, well, we've had an exciting few weeks. Our contestants have had to go through training. They've had to go through rigorous training because this season was done differently. It was just not about how well you speak or how well you can read a speech, but they were tested, their depth and everything else that came with the competition, and they survived all the way to this point, to the Grand Finale. They did have a chance to sit down with Winston Mavoro on the People's Space. They had an in-depth look at their manifestos and everything else in previous episodes, which you are free to go back and run down to actually watch if you haven't watched that part. Just to recognize the presence of our judges, our panel of adjudicators today consists of Mr. Ibrahim Kamara. He is the CTPD Head of Research. Wakumelo Mata is an economist. He is part of our judging panel. Rejoice Ikajo, who is the National Speech Society of Zambia, Special Assistant to the National Coordinator. Those are our judges for today. But to kick things off, allow me to welcome from CTPD, the Head of Advocacy, Madam Natalie Kaunda, to come and address us and officially open the Grand Finale. A round of applause as she makes her way to the podium. Thank you very much.
Getting on to the official opening remarks, on behalf of the Center for Trade Policy and Development, I am happy and of course honored to be opening the Grand Finale of the People's President Season 2 contest. So this is a special day for us, I think, from the advocacy unit, from the research unit, and across the institution, not only because we are going to be crowning a winner, but for us, it's because all the ideas, all the trainings, the courage that the young people have manifested, you being able to interrogate assumptions that are obviously out there in public, being able to obviously even recommend solutions. For us, this shows that this is an investment that has been worthwhile, and we are happy that we are actually being able to witness that today. So even as we get on to the finale, to the finalists, I just like to tell you that even if you do not win, like I have indicated, CTPD does not hold this contest to prize a winner. We do this essentially because we want young people to participate in discussions around economy, participations around politics, and also be able to see your feet within society, right? You might not be a leader in the political space, but you could be a leader in your business. You can be a leader, whether it's in academics, whatever you choose to do. And this is what we are trying to build within you. So all of you, I hope the journey does not end today. For the person who ultimately wins the title of the People's President, Season 2, also just to emphasize that I hope the journey as well doesn't end with winning the title. Remember that it's not about being the loudest in the room, and I think the judges have also made that clear throughout the journey. It's about the willingness to learn, which I think most of us have been able to do. Essentially reiterate what I have just indicated. We thank you very much to our finalists as well for trusting CTPD's platform. We made a call to action for you guys to participate in this contest. The expressions of interest were overwhelming, but I mean, we don't take that for granted also. We are happy that you also trusted us and shared your ideas with us, shared your courage, and here we are on the last day. So even as we get onto the finales program, I wish you all the best, and whoever comes out as a People's President winner much deserves this title. So thank you so much.
Can we please have a better round of applause for Madam Kaunda? Thank you very much. Thank you. Season 1 had an amazing winner, the People's President, who is here to hand over power to the next president. Let's welcome to the stage the winner of Season 1 of the People's President, Given Kapolio, to address us. A round of applause to Given as she makes her way to the podium. Not happy to hand over power, but it has to be done. Thank you very much.
I carried with me a responsibility that went beyond the moment of being crowned People's President. The title became a reminder that leadership must be accompanied by action. I went on to champion causes at a global level, from championing tobacco control reforms to save young people from the grip of big tobacco, to standing up for SMEs when load shedding threatened to cripple them. I added my voice to ventures that I didn't even know were issues. Because I was attached to organizations like CTPD that did mass research, I was able to understand concepts that many of us might not even understand now. But the more you understand the gender gap, the more you understand the harmful effects of tobacco, the more, based on research, it then provokes your willingness to want to add your voice to these ventures. And that ignites a fire that you cannot even understand. I didn't even expect that I would be able to speak to the issues that I'm able to speak to today. And I hope that whoever is crowned People's President Season 2 winner will understand that the title is not the destination, it is the beginning. It is a responsibility to continue speaking up. Winning the People's President is a responsibility to continue learning. Winning the People's President competition is a responsibility to hold leaders accountable. I'd like to commend the Center for Trade Policy and Development and all partners who have invested in this initiative. You have created more than a competition, you have created a space where young Zambians can practice democracy, debate national issues, develop leadership skills, and imagine the future they want to see. As I hand over power today, and as I hand over the symbolic mantle of the People's President to a new generation today, let's continue building a Zambia where every young person can say, I have a voice. Let's continue building a Zambia where every young person can say, my ideas matter. I can participate, I can lead, and I can help shape the Zambia that I want. Long live the People's President, long live. Long live the People's President, long live. Long live youth leadership, long live. Long live the spirit of upholding youth voices, long live. Thank you very much.
We move on to our current presidential aspirants. Please, a round of applause for these young people. It takes a lot to do this. I've been having conversations with them over the past few weeks to say, you have so much courage. I have never had the courage to participate in a competition and share ideas on a national platform like you have. You are all winners in your own right. You should be very, very proud of yourselves. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a panel of our finalists for today. Well, guys, last time you and I were in the same room, we said goodbye to 4 people. 4 people had to leave the competition. And because this is a competition, 3 of you have to say bye to the competition at this moment. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching, 60% of your votes that you voted for these particular candidates have been counted. 40% from the judges, 60% from our viewers. And now is a time we find out who you have kept in the competition to participate in the grand finale. Wiseman Daka, please step forward. Wiseman, you've had a great run. I've seen you participate in another competition run by CTPD, and the people have spoken. 60% of you and 40 from the judges. And they have decided that you stay in the competition. Isaac Chama, step forward. Isaac, it's been an amazing run, hasn't it? You did your best. You did vote, your votes came in. We looked at the numbers. Isaac was one of the highest performing candidates in the last episode. Well, Isaac, this is a competition, and every episode or every opportunity counts. And the people have decided that for Isaac Chama, the journey ends here. You may take your seat, Isaac. Ellen Chioa, please step forward. You're staying. You're in the final. You don't believe me? You are in the final. I would like the two of you to step back and the three behind you to step forward. Seth Landu, Margaret, Emmanuel Bha. Margaret, the previous episode, I think you had the most votes from the people. I love you. They voted for you, kept you in. Emmanuel, on the judge's side, you were so brilliant. And then there's Seth. All three of you should be proud of yourselves. But among the three of you, two of you need to step down from this stage and participate in the grand finale. Seth, the journey ends here. Congratulations for your participation. Tough luck. Emmanuel and Margaret, the people have decided that Emmanuel Bha stays on. Margaret, your journey ends here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are your three finalists for the People's President Season 2, brought to you by CTPD, or should I say the Center for Trade Policy and Development, in partnership with Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. We're gonna get straight into your speeches. I'll just allow the three of you to just step down for a minute. We prepare the podium and we begin with your grand finale speeches. And those will be adjudicated by our judges. A round of applause for our finalists. We have our panel of adjudicators who are available to us right at the back there, ready to adjudicate what you present today. We have Mr. Ibrahim Kamara, CTPD Head of Research. We have Mr. Wakumelo Mata, who is an economist. We also have Rejoice Ekanjo, who is the National Speech Society of Zambia Special Assistant to the National Coordinator, as part of our judging panel. Let's welcome back on the stage Emmanuel Bha to make his presentation. A round of applause for Emmanuel. Your 10 minutes starts now.
The biggest treasure that we have as a country is peace. And as the People's President, my first responsibility is to ensure that I unite the country in the spirit of one Zambia, one nation. Despite having people speaking different languages, belonging to different cultures, peace must prevail. Countrymen and women, my name is Bota Emmanuel, and I'm presenting myself as the 2026 People's President. One message has been consistent, which is the high cost of living. But before we address our 4 practical policies that we wish to put in place to ensure that we lower the cost of living, allow me to acknowledge the macroeconomic stability that Zambia has attained. We had processes like the debt restructuring processes that led to giving our Zambia's economy some breathing space to ensure that it recovers. Today, we have the inflation rate low. We have the GDP growing, as well as a strong currency. However, economic growth must translate into improving a livelihood of an ordinary Zambian. If a marketeer who wakes up every day 04 hours to sell tomatoes in Soweto market should not worry about the price of a bag of meal. If a farmer in Southern Province equally should not be worried about the decent income that he or she must expect from selling their produce. And this brings me back to the biggest challenge that we have at the moment as a country, which is high cost of living. And we have 4 practical policies that were put in place to ensure that we lower the cost of living. Because our manifesto seeks to put people at the center of development, I must also make mention that we're also looking at key sectors of the economy, like the education sector. We have good existing policies, like the free education policy, as well as the feeding programs. However, the quality of education has been compromised. Therefore, immediately we enter into office, we'll look at how best we're going to employ more teachers, build more schools, as well as provide enough learning materials. For the healthy sector, we already have existing policies that we wish to adopt, like no citizen should move more than 5 kilometers to access health care service. In Ikelenge, we have our pregnant mothers moving thousands of kilometers to access good health care services. Immediately we enter into office, these are some of the key sectors we're going to prioritize, ensuring that we adopt such policies and build more hospitals, we employ more healthy practitioners. I also want to recognize the efforts of protecting our young people from different vices that harm them. I do recognize the reports I've seen of thousands of lives that we are losing due to diseases related to tobacco. I'm aware of the millions of dollars that the country is spending in relation to curing diseases related to tobacco. Therefore, as the People's President, immediately we enter into office. With the right procedures, parliamentary procedures, we shall sit down and ensure that we enact the tobacco bill regulation into law to strike a balance between public health as well as economic interest. Because as the People's President, that is my responsibility. Before I conclude, I want to make mention that I'm standing here because of your belief through the public votes. And I'm here asking for an opportunity for you to let me serve you as the 2026 People's President. I believe this journey does not belong to Bota Emmanuel alone. It belongs to every ordinary Zambian in the markets, in the civil service, in the informal sector, and different parts of the country. Together, let us build a Zambia where each citizen has an enabling environment to reach their full potential. May God bless Zambia. May God bless you all.
Applause there for Emmanuel Bha. Thank you very much for your presentation. You may take your seat. All right, let's welcome to the stage our next presidential candidate, Madam Ellen Chioa, to come and address us. A round of applause as she makes her way to the podium. Madam President, your time starts now.
Distinguished guests, leaders, and members of the press here today. And not forgetting my fellow citizens watching from your homes and communities across the 10 provinces of Zambia. I not only greet you in the spirit of one Zambia, one nation, but as Ellen Chioa, your incoming People's President, 2026. I speak to you with absolute candor about the challenges that we face today. After 61 years of independence. This year, Zambia is turning 62. We have come a long way. But from 1964 to 2026, the problems we are facing today are the same that we were facing then. We have widespread poverty, we have pollution, drug abuse, and high cost of living. This has persisted government in and government out. And my philosophy is that you cannot fix problems that Zambian citizens are facing when we have holes within our systems and within our policies. That is why my manifesto tackles 4 main areas, which is systematic change, healthcare, economic policy, and investment in research and development. My vision for Zambia is a country with a productive system that prioritizes citizens' well-being. And well-being that is prepared for, and a government that not only makes this happen, but is self-sufficient. This vision is not only attainable, but aligns with Vision 2030 of transforming Zambia into a prosperous middle-income nation by 2030. But that can only happen if we stop and look at the systems that lack accountability and fail to prepare for emergencies. Because if you think after 62 years, the only problem is corrupt leaders, then you miss the systemic nature of this issue. Firstly, let's look at systematic change. I will be inheriting a nation that has free education, but I will also be inheriting a nation that has retarded children in Kabwe. Why? Because of lead pollution. Since during colonial rule, Kabwe's air, water, and soil has been polluted by lead. And in 1971 to 1974, the government took over the Anglo-American mine and lead operations, but also acknowledged the need for comprehensive remediation, but has not done much. And we still have guardrails in place today. And because of this, another Kabwe will be possible. Another sacrifice zone, as it is known globally. We have another example in Kafiwe. Konkola copper mines has been polluting the Kafiwe River, and therefore my government intends to ensure that there's accountability for these insufficient laws and insufficient systems through the following. By introducing environmental mining policies that have independent oversight and watchdogs to monitor internal affairs for accountability within our government. My government also intends to have adequate cleanup of drainages and sanitation. During the rain season, we cannot worry about flooding and children dying in drainages and drowning. This is the last time that we hear of cholera as a regular occurrence when I become your people's president. Now we look at economic policy. My government is intending to introduce infrastructure development through capital markets. We are inheriting a country that has positive GDP growth, and inflation is at 6.5% within our target band. This way, citizens and the private sector will lead in economic development, especially in the mining sector. Lastly, research and development that invests in the country's development and prosperity. No longer will we have an even development in Sinazongwe, Kaputa, and different parts of the country. When I was 16, I became a junior member of parliament. At 17, debating in parliament in Botswana. And then I worked in the councils as a junior councillor, going in the communities, understanding our systems and understanding our problems. So today, my government believes in collaboration for our policy so that we can work together to invest in our systems, to invest in Zambian lives. So this has been Ellen Chioa, your incoming People's President 2026. I thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Let's welcome to the stage the People's President, aspiring President, Wiseman Daka. A round of applause for Wiseman Daka as he makes his way to the stage to address us. All right, Mr. Daka, your 10 minutes starts now.
Countrymen, women, and the youth. I, Wiseman Daka, your Republican President for the People's President 2026, have the honor to present before you our manifesto that will help build the Zambia we deserve under the theme, Reimagining Zambia's Future through Youth Leadership for Inclusive Governance and National Transformation. This responsibility comes at a pivotal moment as we navigate the turbulent waters of debt distress, historical droughts that led to devastating load shedding, and the soaring cost of living. We acknowledge the real progress our country has registered, the restoration of fiscal sanity, the expansion of free primary and secondary education, the increase in CDF allocation and directly to our communities, and the debt restructuring efforts that have reopened doors to international credibility. But as your president, I must also speak to the raw experience and lived reality of our Zambian people. To the average Zambian, things remain rough and tough day by day, and tough to an extent that many families in our townships and villages, lunch finds them while they are still looking for breakfast, and if not, they go sleep on an empty stomach. My mother in Soweto market is battling a crashing cost of living before the sun even rises. The farmer in Southern Province or Eastern Province watches drought threaten their harvest because our food system remains chained to the rain-fed agriculture. The young graduate in Mufulira or Kitwe sits on a veranda with a diploma and a degree in hand whilst he watches mineral resources leave their own country and lack of opportunities for employment. Countrymen, women, and the youth, allow me to paint a picture of the Zambia we deserve. On all fronts, our targets are non-negotiable, and when we form government, we aim at building the Zambia we deserve. Number one, we focus on accelerating real GDP growth to 7% annually, ensuring 25% of mined minerals are processed and refined locally, and producing 14 million metric tons tobacco alternative crops, and mobilizing domestic resources up to 25.6% of GDP to end debt reliance. And last but not the least, we shall create over 350,000 jobs for our people and employment opportunities. Countrymen, women, and the youth. In order to achieve this, we need a firm, strong, and laser-focused public service force. As such, we will start by strengthening public institutions, upholding constitutionalism, and enforcing zero tolerance to corruption. And I repeat, zero tolerance to corruption. We will motivate our civil service through sustainable salary reviews and ensure government remains accountable through measurable targets and annual performance report. Under my administration, we shall stimulate economic growth and improve the livelihoods of our people. Agriculture will anchor our economic diversification strategy with an allocation of 17 billion kwacha toward climate-smart farming, solar-powered irrigation. We will ensure year-round production and enhance food, nutrition, and security, and drive export growth. We all affirm that a healthy nation is a productive nation. Hence, We shall recruit more health workers and educators to improve personnel to patient and teacher to pupil ratio in our country and acquire essential medicines, strengthen primary health care, build and upgrade health facilities and education infrastructure. We will, and I repeat, we will enact the tobacco control bill to reduce the burden of non-communicable diseases. This will generate a cost savings of 154 million kwacha in direct health costs, which will be directed toward establishing modern rehabilitation centers and even power other ventures such as youth empowerment. Countrymen, women, and the youth. While expanding free education, we will build adequate infrastructure to complement our revised competence-based curriculum. We shall champion STEM education because we understand that today science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are at the core of every nation's economy. By establishing the dedicated district, provincial, and national science centers as innovation hubs across all our 116 districts. In addition, we must confront a silent crisis destroying our workforce. The numbers are evident: 7,100 lives lost per year. And maybe to make it clear to you, for the past 15 years, more than 100,000 Zambians have lost their lives to preventable tobacco-related illnesses. Even more alarming, 16% of school-going adolescents between the age of 13 and 15 currently use e-cigarettes and nicotine products. I'm sure you're familiar with the word vaping, and I must confess to this house today that poison is poison. It doesn't matter the container. Countrymen, women, and the youth. This is a national tragedy. We are losing bright young minds to addiction before they even complete their schools. Gun to my head, I will never prioritize corporate interests over the lives of my Zambian people. To safeguard the human capital that we have, we will enforce strict tobacco and nicotine control laws to curb youth addiction at its grassroots. This will save 2.7 billion kwacha in lost economic productivity. We will allocate 3 billion kwacha to support operations for local authorities and enhance public service delivery. This includes enforcing statutory instruments that are already in existence, such as public smoking regulations, through rigorous compliance checks, increased enforcement of fines and penalties, anonymous reporting systems, public awareness campaigns, and mandatory clear signage in public spaces, just like the size of the backdrop banner. I'm asking for 5 seconds to conclude.
Your time is up.
Well, in the spirit of one Zambia, one nation, allow me to say, let us build the Zambia we deserve. I thank you.
Thank you very much there, Wiseman Daka. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the People's President Grand Finale, brought to you by the Center for Trade Policy and Development with their amazing partner, Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. I hope we're all feeling refreshed and energized as we get ready to find out who will be the new People's President for 2026. Allow me to invite our judges, the panel of judges, to just join us up on stage. As our judges are joining us, I would also invite Madam Paxina Piri to join them up on stage. Before I ask the judges to just explain to us what the criteria was, or what it is they were looking for in their speeches, we're going to recognize all the 10 participants, the top 10 in the People's President competition. They did participate. Some of them are present here that were eliminated, and we will be giving them certificates. Some of them are not present, and we'll recognize them in absentia. So for starters, with the certificates, in absentia, we'd like to recognize the participation of Maxwell Banda. We would like to recognize Mukuka Zulu. We'd also like to recognize Emily Nalwamba. And I would like to invite Esther Zulu to come to the podium and collect her certificate. Emmanuel Bha, step forward and collect your certificate. Margaret Namukazie. Wiseman Daka. Emmanuel, I'll ask you to stand here. Just stand. Ellen Chioa. Isaac Chama. Well, Wiseman, just stay where you are. Seth, you can take your seat. All right, at this point in time, I'll just allow one of our judges to just explain to us what they were looking for when they were adjudicating our top 3 contenders of the People's President. Can we have a mic on stage, please, to one of the judges? Just explain to us what you were looking for and how you arrived at our winner for today.
This final actually did not have the public vote. So going and building throughout this competition, what we had was that the public vote had a significant weight, which we had given a 60%, and then the judge's score was only 40%. So that was the criteria which was used throughout until when we narrowed down to our final 3 here today, which was only scored by the judges. So ultimately, the vote that was given by the judges amounted to 100%. So we had a criteria that we were using, and each criteria had a specific weight which was given to it. So we were specifically looking for 6 things. So we were looking at the issues and how a candidate is diagnosing the problem that was significant to the presentation that we were hearing, and obviously that was also given a weight of significance, and that was given a 20%. So the second thing that we were looking at was the solution and the quality of the solution. So after you have identified what the issues are and you have discussed elaborately what the challenges or the specific context around what those issues are, we were looking at the evidence that you will bring out in addition to the solution. So that was also given a weight of around 20. And then the fourth thing that we're looking at was the inclusiveness of your solution. So obviously, as you aspire to be a president, one of the things that we are looking at is how inclusive your solutions are, because you will be a president not only for yourself or the constituency you're coming from, but you will be a president for the entire nation. So we were specifically also looking at the inclusiveness of the solutions and how effective are your solutions towards encompassing the needs of every other citizen in this country. The other thing that we're looking at is leadership and originality. And I think this is something that was brought out by almost all the candidates. I should actually say all the candidates did demonstrate that they had this skill to, of course, different degrees. And this was given a weight of 15. So it did also form part of what we were looking at. And then the last thing that we're looking at is the communication, clarity, and the way the delivery has been. And this has been the criteria that we have used throughout. That has been the criteria, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kamara, for that. I'll ask the participants to come to the front. All 3 of you, you can stand in the front. It's okay, you can carry certificates, it's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now the moment. It's time. It's time that we relieve Given Kapolio of her duties. It's time she handed over power to the next people's president. Who will it be? Is it Ellen Chioa? Is it Wiseman Daka? Or is it Emmanuel Bha? Well, the judges have decided. And just a reminder that the grand prize for the people's president is 30,000 kwacha. 30,000 kwacha to one of you today. It's a winner-takes-all competition. They have been ranked first, second, and third, but only the winner walks away with that money. In third place, for the 2026 People's President is Emmanuel Bha. Congratulations, Emmanuel. You've had a good race. And now, the winner of the People's President 2026, brought to you by CTPD in partnership with Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, is They have to bring the check first. Wait, guys. The winner is Wiseman Daka. Congratulations. Wiseman, congratulations. Congratulations to you. All right, we can have the check presented to Mr. Daka on stage. And can we also have the president, Madam Kapolio, to come and hand over the instruments of power, please? All right, Wiseman, that is yours, 30,000 kwacha. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. All right. All right. Now, can we have the president to come and hand over the instruments of power to the president-elect, Mr. Wiseman Daka? All right, there you have it. Wiseman Daka is the 2026 People's President. All right, can we hear from Wiseman? Wiseman, how are you feeling? Can we get a mic to Wiseman, please? Or should I address you right? Mr. President, how do you feel?
Mr. President, address us. Can you address us? Please, sir. Countrymen, women, and the youth. Today, I stand at a pivotal moment in receiving the instruments of power from the former president to myself. And it's been a long time coming. a lot has gone in, sleepless nights on how we can better our nation, a lot of reading, cancellations to the speech. Well, I participated in the People's Finance Minister. That was last year or earlier this year. And getting exposed to such a competition was a challenge and a good experience. But then to participate in this one, I didn't want to participate. I must make mention. But then I have a friend in the audience, Mr. Enoch Lopikisha. He's the one who called me to the challenge. He says, you have what it takes to do this. Why not push in your audition video? And it's been something that I've been doing with a lot of doubt, having had the previous experience from the People's Budget. But to even make it this far, the competitors, it never felt like a competition, honestly, because we've bonded with almost each and everybody, from Emily, Bota, Margaret, Seth, Isaac, the list goes on, up to 10, the 10 contestants have met. And we've exchanged words, we've exchanged ideas, and I feel this platform should continue, like earlier speeches alluded to say we need to continue creating such platforms that create meaningful youth engagement when it comes to civic issues. Hence, I have a lot to say, but a reminder to the nation that we are not here to fantasize about fantasies that fancy the fight against tobacco and the better Zambia. Over to you, sir.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. We know your first appointment to be who? Innocent?
Yes, he'll be advisor to the president.
Clearly. Well, thank you very much. We'd like to thank everybody that has participated in the People's President, those of you that took time to actually vote every week, every time an episode aired and kept this competition alive. We'd like to say thank you to you, our viewers. I will ask, our president-elect to step down of his photo opportunities, but Madam Natalie can close for us as we, come to a close of this event. Our judges, Madam Paxina, please. You're allowed. She can take your leave.
Parents, guardians who were able to come through today. We do have our Season 6 People's President winner, or should I say title holder. That's Mr. Wiseman Daka. We are happy. We welcome you to the official, community of the People's President winners. The journey only starts now. Of course, the intent is that you continue to work for community livelihoods, continue to work with us to advocate for policies that are in line with what we want, ultimately, which is an inclusive and transformative agenda for the whole Zambia. To the rest of the finalists who have joined us today, we continue to work together as well. And of course, we continue to engage with them even as we come to the close of this particular grand finale. So I would like to thank everyone once again for having come and joined us all through to the end. Special thanks as well goes to our cooperating partner, who I think has been alluded to earlier. That's the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. Ladies and gentlemen, this People's President contest was intended to mirror what would happen in a national election. And as we all know, we do have a national election that is slated for this week. The idea was that we have young people also actively participate and position themselves. So we do hope that even as we carry on with the rest of the week into our general election, we can also participate as much as we have done in this particular finale and contest. So till next time, which is 2031, this has been the People's President contest, and would like to thank you everyone, including our special anchor, who has been Mr. Peasy, Peter Zulu. Thank you to our judges as well for the work done, and we appreciate for giving us a People's President 2026 winner. So thank you and
very much. All right, with that said, we'd like to thank you very much. We'll see you in 2031 as the president-elect, the people's president. Mr. Wiseman Daka begins his tenure as president, as the people's president. Until then, I've been your host. My name is Peter Zulu. It's goodbye for now.